everyone, today I'll be reviewing this new Japanese movie. It is on Netflix called Love Like a Falling Petals, and this movie's a trailer I actually never saw. So when I was watching this movie, I was really surprised by the plot line for this movie. Well, I really enjoyed this movie. This movie is a sweet romantic movie with a tragedy at the end. I thought overall this movie is definitely very heart touching. So in this movie we see Haruto. He has this huge crush on his hairdresser called Mitsuyaki. In this movie, we see he has this crush on her for months. Finally, he get this courage to ask her out, and they start going out in this movie. But after a couple of months dating with Mitsuyaki, she finds out she has this rare disease where she start getting old very faster, very quicker. And when this tragedy happened in her life, of course, she need to break up with him in this movie. And I must say, this movie was really shockingly very sweet and also very tragedy. Especially one of the scene, I was like almost in tear. Like if you have seen this movie, like I will be going into that scene in literally in a minute. It's a spoiler, so I don't want to be going into that. So in this movie, we see Mitsuyaki, who, by the way, helped Haruto. Like he wants to be a photographer in this movie, but he doesn't have any. Like he's very shy and like he doesn't have courage to pursue his passion. But in this movie, we see Mitsuyaki. She really pushed him to go, find your passion. Like you're a good photographer, go for it. And the way this movie starts, they're both like they're in their little world. They try to impress each other. It was really sweet. Although this movie is very like a love story, I will say this movie does centers around three characters, because halfway through this movie did like Mitsuyaki's brother, he did became center of this movie, so I'm going into spoilers. If you have not seen the movie, it's gonna be a mild spoiler here and there. So halfway through we see Mitsuyaki's brother, he start taking care of her because he doesn't want to see Haruto anymore in this movie because she doesn't want him to see her getting old. And the scene I was talking about is in how she started getting old in this movie. I must say they don't show you right away. So I was like, oh, are they not gonna show us her face? Because this brother was like just carrying her on his back around, and I was like, oh, are they not gonna show her us too? Like I was really worried, but they do show you her how she's getting old in this movie. And in one scene when she really gets old, oh my gosh, she gets old so quickly in this movie, by the way. And one scene, like he doesn't recognize her at first. Like this old lady come to him, and he's like, oh, who is this lady? Like I don't know you, but she was her and him. And later he finds out that was Mitsuyaki. Of course, it breaks his heart. I was really sad when he did not recognize her. Then again, Mitsuyaki, she didn't want him to see him like that, so it makes sense. And also the brother, he was really good. Overall, this movie's acting is really good. Overall, this movie is really very well acted because this movie is a romantic movie, same time very emotional movie too. All these four actors, they were really good. The only one complaint I have with this movie is the scene is really dragged a lot. Like I would say editing isn't best for this movie when you watch it. Especially halfway through this movie dragged a lot. Some of the scene, I was like, oh, show us her face, or start getting to the next scene, I suppose. It just dragged a little bit toward the end, I will say. Overall, it was really very heartwarming movie. Yeah, this movie did, at first, it reminded me of the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, but the reverse. It was very interesting. When she get this disease, same time it was sad because she's such a beautiful at first in this movie. You see her smile, she's smiling, and then she get this disease, shockingly so bad. And really, this movie touched my heart. It was so sweet and romantic movie. I had really good time watching, honestly. It just, I felt a little bit dragged here and there. Overall, it was very enjoyable watch for me. And that was my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what you think about this movie. And if you enjoyed about this review, don't forget to share my other reviews on Netflix movie. And I had made many reviews on many Japanese movies. If you have not seen it, check them out. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.